The FBI has struggled to hire hackers because of the FBI hiring rule that the applicant must not have used marijuana during the last 3 years. After being shot by poachers, an elephant in Zimbabwe named Ben walked to and patiently waited outside a medical lodge for 5 hours. There is a diamond mine in Arkansas that is open to the public. Visitors can keep whatever gems they find. Till now, thousands of diamonds have been found since it opened. The Winnie the Pooh media franchise has generated more revenue, $76 billion, than Marvel Cinematic Universe, $35 billion, and Harry Potter, $32 billion, combined. Creator of Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda, Shigeru Miyamoto, is forbidden to go to work with a bicycle because his safety is too valuable. Thanks to the US version of the sitcom The Office, Scranton, Pennsylvania has gone from a former coal city into a major tourist attraction, revitalizing its downtown area. When ancient Romans had something stolen from them, they would transfer ownership of their stolen items to a deity, so as to make the god responsible for punishing the thief. A woman in Utah kept her dead husband in a freezer for 10 years so she could collect his veterans benefits. He left a notarized note saying she hadn't killed him. Within 10 years of graduation, most people work in careers that aren't directly related to their majors. Abraham Lincoln grew his beard because a little girl said he would look better with one. When it gets too hot in Australia, the nectar in certain flowers will ferment and turn into alcohol. These bees get drunk and are not allowed back into the hive before they sober up. For hand washing, regular soap is just as good as antibacterial soap. When a billionaire resident dies, states reap an average $165 million windfall from estate taxes. The average soccer player runs 7 miles per game, midfielders average 9.5 miles and referees average more miles than players. In the 1700s you could get admission to the London Zoo by bringing a dog or cat to feed the lions. The author of The Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo was black. Australia's first cops were all criminals. Our first police force was made up of 12 of the best behaved convicts. In Switzerland, applications for citizenship are decided at the municipal level. Hence, if your neighbors find you annoying, then they can vote to deny your citizenship. Shaquille O'Neal only made one 3-point shot during his entire career. Kleenex was invented and intended as a paper filter for gas masks during World War I. Ghost Stories, an anime that did so poorly in Japan they gave the American dub free reign to do whatever they wanted and the voiceover team went nuts. People with baby faces tend to live longer, healthier lives than those who look their age. The Gombe Chimpanzee War, a violent conflict between two communities of chimpanzees that lasted 4 years. In 2010, the Chinese government systematically dismantled CIA spying operations in the country, killing an estimated 30 spies. When Pokemon Go was first released, the game improved the US's activity levels by 144 billion steps in just 30 days. Eye of Newt was just another name for mustard seed. The term tire, the rubber component of a vehicle's wheel, comes from the word attire, from the idea that a wheel with a tire is a dressed wheel. The historical Buddha is not known to have been obese. The chubby Buddha or laughing Buddha is a 10th century Chinese folk hero by the name of Buddha. Several years ago there was somehow a common cold outbreak at a research base in Antarctica. After 17 weeks of complete isolation, no cause was found. There is a proposed punctuation mark for irony and sarcasm, but due to lack of adoption it remains unused. The UK has started Minister of Loneliness, currently held by Tracy Crouch, after growing consensus that loneliness is a public health concern. The British Royal Society of Chemistry recommends adding tea to milk, and not the other way around, as adding milk to tea results in significant denaturation of the milk, adversely affecting flavor. In 1998, the average monetary loss of a 7-Eleven robbery was just $37. Most Walmarts allow people to camp in their parking lot overnight for free. There is no known Chinese art depicting the panda bear that predates the 20th century. The best baguette in Paris competition. The winner gets to deliver a daily baguette to the President of France. Daniel Radcliffe broke over 60 wands and went through over 160 pairs of glasses during the filming of Harry Potter. The word sniper refers to a hunter skilled enough to shoot a snipe, a small and fast bird. Fencing, a mating behavior in hermaphroditic species of flatworm. Two flatworm fight and try to penetrate the other's epidermis and inject sperm into them, aka traumatic insemination. The loser becomes fertilized and is known as the mother, while the victor becomes the father. A liter of surface seawater typically contains 100 billion viruses, most of them unidentified and uncharacterized. The witching hour is a time of night between 3 to 4 am in Western Christianity, considered to be when supernatural events are at their most powerful and frequent due to the absence of prayers. Comedian Eddie Izzard has performed stand-up in French, German, Spanish, Russian and Arabic. Hal is a universal word, existing in almost every language across the world. A 20-pound Himalayan house cat went batshit crazy and held a family hostage in their bedroom. Caller, he's charging at us. He's at our door. Bedroom door. Dispatch. One moment. Okay, cat. Rana. US prisoners are fed a flavorless brick named disciplinary loaf for misbehaving. Aloe vera based toothpaste is more effective at reducing plaque and gingivitis than regular toothpaste. Eating and cooked squid without removing the spermatophores can inseminate your mouth with squid sperm that bite and give a stinging sensation. Nebraska used to be home to rhinoceros, camels, and saber-toothed deer. The United States Air Force Thunderbirds Demonstration Squadron are part of the USAF Combat Force and can be rapidly integrated into an operational fighter unit and be combat ready in less than 72 hours if the need arises. A jiffy is an actual unit of time, and in quantum physics can be defined as the time it takes for light to travel 1 Fermi, which is approximately the size of a nucleon. The reason some dinosaurs were able to get so large was that they had air sacs in and around their bones, which prevented them from being crushed under their own weight and allowing them to grow to enormous sizes. If you could drive your car at highway speeds in a straight line off the Earth, you could reach the International Space Station in about 4 hours. There were men-only executive flights until the 70s with cocktails, complimentary cigars and steak dinners. When whales die and sink, their carcasses, known as whale falls, provide a bounty of nutrients for deep water creatures. Peacock is not the name of the bird, but is in fact the term for a male peafowl. A female peafowl is called a peahen. When you black out from drinking, it's because of the effects that alcohol has on the hippocampus. You don't forget anything. Your brain doesn't record new memories. Cognitive behavioral therapy is getting less and less effective for depression over time. In parts of India, coconut tree climbers earn more money than software engineers. The moon doesn't just cause ocean tides, it also causes earth tides, raising and lowering the Earth's crust by centimeters. All GPS coordinates in China are intentionally obfuscated and shifted by 5 to 500 meters by a confidentiality algorithm. Mel Brooks served in World War II, defusing landmines as the Allies advanced into Nazi Germany. The city of Venice was founded as Italians hid in the marshes and lagoons to hide from the invasion of Attila the Hun. There was a spate of waiters poisoning portipes in Chicago in 1918. lungs are not symmetrical. Your right lung has 3 lobes and the left has 2. The Soviets told the inventor of the theremin that electricity is not good for music. Electricity is to be used for electrocution, and then fired him. The US military considers suicide to be a crime, and service members have been sent to prison for attempted suicide. The Ben & Jerry's inspired parody series called Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's sued for trademark infringement, and a federal judge ordered 10 Ben & Jerry's titles to be removed, including Boston cream thighs and peanut butter D-cups. Joseph Stalin was only 5 feet 4 inches tall, and he often wore stacked shoes and stood on platforms to make himself appear taller. Due to his acting roles in many Marvel movies, the late Stan Lee is the highest grossing actor of all time, with a total box office gross as an actor at $30,617,384,366. The second highest grossing actor is also a Marvel movie star, Samuel L. Jackson of Nick Fury fame. In 1850, a man who claimed he was the brother of Jesus started a rebellion in China that killed 30 million people. It was one of the bloodiest conflicts in human history. A judge sued a dry cleaner for $67 million because they lost a pair of his pants. The reason why Europeans gave Native Americans many diseases in the New World, but not vice versa, is not just because of Europe's population-dense cities/towns, but also because the Europeans had animal agriculture. Samsung used to be a grocery store at first, and became the giant of electronics after 1969. The first 1000 numbers do not have the letter A in them and are called A-band numbers. The famous walking style of Frankenstein's monster was actually the result of a continuity error. In The Wizard of Oz, the dog playing Toto made more money than the Munchkin actors. The Munchkins earned $50 a week, while the dog earned $125 a week. Eggs should be stored pointy side down. The Swedish Navy was chasing around fish farts thinking it was a Russian submarine. Soon after the iconic photograph of him was taken, Karl Marx had his beard and hair shaved. The famous pull to refresh in most of our social medias is actually a psychologic trick linking the lever of a gambling machine. Thus you anticipate more glory upon doing this one movement of finger on your screen. Until 2013, 10% of US electricity came from disassembled Russian nuclear warheads. A woman in Oklahoma was killed by a pack of wild wiener dogs. 16% of Italians are allergic to tomatoes. A photographer died protecting his film during the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption. A 9-year-old kid who got a job decorating a restaurant with his drawings after he kept getting in trouble for doodling in class.